When Black Panther co-founder Huey P. Newton was convicted of murdering a police officer, the militant racial justice organization rallied to his defense. One key objection was that Newton himself had been shot that night, a fact that loomed large in his appeal: people versus Newton. Just before 5 a.m., Oakland police officer John Frey spotted a known Black Panther vehicle. He called for backup, and Officer Herbert Heanes joined him in another car. Dispatch told the officers that the vehicle was registered to one Laverne Williams and was linked to a couple of warrants for parking violations. The officers approached the vehicle on foot. Huey Newton was driving. Newton identified himself, and the officers acknowledged that they knew who he was. The officers ordered Newton out of his vehicle, and Frey walked him to the back of a police car. Newton reportedly protested that Frey had no reason to arrest him, which led to some tussling. What happened next wasn't clear. Several shots were fired. Newton was hit in the abdomen. Heanes was shot in the arm, leg, and chest. Frey was shot 5 times at close range, with bullets entering both the front and back of his body. A witness testified that Newton had fired at Frey several times, including at Frey's back after he'd fallen. Frey died. Newton made his way to the hospital, where he was arrested. Newton was charged with murder. At trial, Newton denied shooting either officer. He described Frey sneering at him and hitting him for protesting the arrest, followed by Frey drawing his revolver and firing at Newton's midsection. Newton recalled hearing a volley of shots and crawling along, and then nothing, until he arrived at the hospital with no recollection of how he got there. He testified that he was unconscious or semi-conscious from the time he was shot until he arrived at the hospital. An expert witness testified that this state could have been caused by the gunshot wound Newton had received. Newton's attorney considered pleading the defense of unconsciousness, but ultimately didn't request that the jury be instructed on this defense. The jury found Newton guilty of voluntary manslaughter. Newton appealed to the California District Court of Appeal. He argued that the court's failure to instruct the jury that involuntary unconsciousness was a defense to criminal homicide was a prejudicial error.